Before big games, a coach always gives a pep talk to the team. A pep talk to ready the team, to get them inspired, maybe with a quote or something, or get them inspired to think about what's at stake, what's the big game all about. Well, we have a big game coming up. Tonight, the big game begins. So this is more of a pep talk, not so much structured as it normally is, my homilies, but a bit more of a pep talk to direct and to prepare our minds, to prepare our hearts. What are we going to be celebrating tonight? What are we going to be celebrating tomorrow? And this pep talk is really to help us to prepare and to celebrate better what it is that we will be living through. This pep talk, I'm going to address 3 questions. That's going to structure it. Pretty soon tonight we'll hear most likely that hymn, Silent Night. And in that hymn there's this line that goes like this: Christ our Savior is born. What is this birth all about? Why is it that his birth is so important? 2,000 years from now, no one's going to be celebrating my birthday. Why is this birth important? To understand why that particular birth is important, to understand what it is that we're celebrating tonight and tomorrow, we need to step back. We need to step back and to take a look at our story. We need to rewind all the way to the beginning. All the way to the beginning. And so here's the first question. Why is there something instead of nothing? Why is there something instead of nothing? God created everything, and he created everything from nothing, from absolutely nothing. Before everything was, there was nothing. God created the vastness of these galaxies all the way to the minute atom. He created the universe, he created nature, he created everything visible and invisible as well. And if he created everything from nothing, that means that he wanted it to be there, that he willed it. God, who is love, created everything out of love, out of an outpouring of his love, an overflowing of his love. And he created man and woman. He created Adam and Eve as the pinnacle, as the climax of his creation. And he created them in his image and likeness, and they were in friendship with God. And as the book of Genesis says, God created, and everything was good. In fact, it was very good. It was very good. But looking around us, looking at our world, turning on the TV, we see that something's off. If everything is so good, why is the world so messed up? Why is the world so messed up? What happened? That's the second question. Well, what happened is that one creature that God created, an angel, an archangel, whose name is Lucifer, rebelled against God. Rebelled against God out of envy, out of jealousy of us, of you, God's most loved creature. Lucifer didn't want to serve God. He rebelled against God. And when you rebel against someone, when you hate someone that is above you, you attack what they love the most. Satan starts to attack us, starts to attack God's most loved creation. And so in the Garden of Eden, as a serpent, Satan comes, and he sows a lie to Adam and Eve. And this is the lie: that God doesn't really love you, that God doesn't really have your good at heart, that God can't be trusted. And from there, he tempted Adam and Eve to disobey God. And so sin comes from that, right? This lie that God can't be trusted, that God doesn't really love us. And from there, from that first sin, everything unraveled. Everything unraveled from there we became separated from God. We became separated from the source of our life, the author of life. And as we see, as history shows, things got worse to worse to worse. Sin brought in more sin, more brokenness, more disorder, more disunity in all of creation. And because of that, we were enslaved to sin. We had the consequences of all of it, sin and death. And here's the third question. What has God done about it? If we are his most loved creature, what has God done about it? And what does it have to do with what we're celebrating tonight? Our story is God's story. God, from that moment, that first sin, he never abandoned us. He never abandoned his most loved creation. He promised a Savior. And through, as we see from Noah to Abraham to Moses to the prophets to David that we hear about in the first reading today, God was coming to us, bringing us back to him. And finally, God sent his Son. God sent his Son, his only begotten Son. And this is what we hear in the gospel today. This is what we celebrate at Christmas. The angel Gabriel came to Mary and asked her to be the mother of God, the mother of the only begotten Son of Jesus Christ. The Son of God was born of the Virgin in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. Why? To rescue us. To come to our rescue, to save us from sin and its consequences. Christmas is the beginning of this rescue mission. Christmas is where we begin to celebrate that Jesus comes to fight to get his world back. Jesus comes to fight to win you back at the cost of his life, dying on the cross. That's how much you matter to him. That's how much we matter to him. That's how much he loves you. You matter to him. So this is the context of what it is that we're celebrating tonight. This is the context of Christmas. That's the context of our gospel today. Jesus Christ is our Savior. Jesus Christ is the Savior. And as the hymn recalls, come and let us worship him. Come and let us worship him.